So throughout my high school life, I was lucky enough to have a laptop that was required for class. However, as you can imagine, my attention span quickly left me the moment the teacher walked in the room. So what is a bored student to do, stuck in a classroom with a laptop and school Wi-Fi? Well, probably study, but I chose instead to book it to a website called Cool Maths Games, a gigantic library of distracting games all packed together on a website that thankfully wasn't blocked by the school's firewall. Now, there is an abundance of games on this gem of a website, but there were 3 main games that I would always go back to. Run, Balloon Tower Defense, and the king of my procrastination, Papa's Burgeria. These games are what got me through high school. Mentally, I mean, I still had to study for class, but let's not talk about that. All of these games were dear to me, but I'm gonna focus on this one, because oh boy, did I have a love-hate relationship with this game. Papa's Burgeria was the second game in the Papa's series of Flash games. I never played Pizzeria. These games see you running one of the many restaurants owned by this mustached Italian named Papa. You work as a manager, cook, interior decorator, and customer service. A job that you, for some reason, needed a Willy Wonka golden ticket to get. Personally, I don't see the appeal. And if that sounds hectic as hell to all you fast food workers, yes, it is. So, let me break down how this game works. You, as the store's one and only employee, have 3 major things you need to complete over the course of the workday. You need to first greet your customers, take down their order, head to the back, grill up some patties, then drag them over to the assembly line in order to create the best burger of all time. Because for some unknown reason, all these customers are effectively all clones of Gordon Ramsay, and will berate you if you have not delivered a dining experience straight out of the Lucky Cat. What do you mean your burger is a little burnt? I cooked that patty to perfection. You want a burnt burger? I'll give you a burnt burger. I'll hand you a puck of charcoal. See how you enjoy that burger. I mean, these guys are just too damn picky. Because really, who cares if I accidentally put a little bit of mustard on that man's burger while assembling it? He'll be fine. Not like he's gonna die. But anyways, as much as I hate to see my customers leave happy with their specially designed burgers that aren't on any menu we have, it is actually somewhat essential. Because in this game, the way you obtain money is by getting a good review from the customers, who will then give you a tip based on your score. Because Papa doesn't pay us a goddamn salary. I mean, why would he? Not like he runs a chain of incredibly successful restaurants. But wait, because it gets better. Because I bet you thought all these hard-earned tips were yours. No. Because all that revenue goes to improving the store that you work at. But don't worry about not being able to pay your rent.
Because you live here now.
So on top of trying to make the customers happy, something you don't get rewards for outside of their generous $2 tips, which again, only really serves a decoration purpose, so at least you get to make the hell you live in a bit nicer. But most of these decorations only really help you improve your wait time score. You know, giving them something to do so they don't realize they've just spent all day in this dingy burger joint, like a TV, an arcade game, and just oh so many posters. Do you remember going into your local burger shop and there was just an arcade game smack dab in the middle of the store? Walls covered in posters, while both a TV and a jukebox blare in the background, and the customers are all slurping down free coffee? Yeah, classic 2000s energy. Also, I said that the tips are based on the score given. Well, that score is dependent on wait time, burger temperature, and how well you stack the overall ingredients. But the thing is, as the day goes by, and you have more and more people coming to the store, you need to start prioritizing wait time and grilling scores, lest the customers become appalled by your incompetence to run this entire restaurant on your own. Because when you go to take an order, you're stuck in that menu until they're finished, in which time you look back at the grill and find everything has turned to charcoal. Yeah. But if you're focusing on the burgers, making sure they don't turn into lumps of coal, you won't get notified when new customers come into the store, which brings down your wait score. Oh, you want to know when you have new customers come into your store? Well, you need to purchase a bell for that, because of course a customer detection system didn't come with the actual store. I guess that would be too much of an ask, huh, Papa? But when you finally scrounge up enough money to buy it, you'll finally have the heads up you need to give those customers the service they seek. But as a trade-off, you will suddenly wish you had gone deaf, although eventually you progress so far in the game and curate so many tips from all your most loyal regulars that you just don't ever need to worry about what the customers want ever again. Now, it's time to focus on you and your artistic vision, because we obviously know what they want more than themselves at this point, and what they want is definitely the Fortune Special. 24 burnt patties covered in cheese. Now doesn't that look appetizing? But that's just the Burgeria. There's plenty of other chains in the Papa's brand to take advantage of you hard workers, like the Pizzeria, the Pancakeria, the Taco Mia, and the Pastaria. This is where I go to Dumme Mafia Roleplay. This website, and more importantly this game, were honestly so fun for me as a student, and it was always a good day to go to school, sit down and duke it out with all the customers coming in for what was actually a very reasonable service. But regardless, always made me want to jump over the counter and throw hands every time they dissed my cooking. And that even translated over to real life, all while I kept my finger on the Alt and F4 buttons, just in case my teacher ever came around to see what I was writing on my very blank Word document. Seems legit.